Hello guys, it's me, your boy John C, and I'm going to welcome you to another episode of the John C Live Show. I've got a fantastic guest today, from a former gangster to a business owner to now a transformation coach, Mr. Morris the Connector. Oh yes, see him in action.
Hello everyone, my name's Morris the Connector. The reason for my name is I'm now connected to my inner self. So anything is possible now because I believe in myself. They say seeing is believing, but it's believing is seeing. Now I can see everything clearly now. I want to show you how I navigated myself to become Morris the Connector.
Good evening, Morris. How you doing, sir?
Good evening, my friend John. I'm good, man. I'm breathing. I'm alive. I feel good.
Yeah, do you want to introduce yourself to the viewers out there, Morris?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming and wanting to listen to this former gangster. Do you know what I mean? But now I'm a game changer. You know, called Morris the Connector for a reason. That's my ultra ego name. You know, I'm now connected to my inner self, which is the best thing you can do is connect to yourself. Then you start to know yourself. Then you know the possibilities. Then you can start to believe that nothing is impossible. So that's where my name comes from. But it wasn't always like that. I believe when we're born, we are all fighting to find ourselves, fighting to wear our crown, which is my hashtag, wear your own crown. You know, because I believe we're kings and queens. You know, we're all born to lead with something, with a gift, a purpose that God has given us. So I believe we all have something special. You all have something special, but it's about finding it. And I had trouble finding myself from a 7-year-old growing up with my mum and dad. My dad left home when I was 7 years old. I struggled with that, like any kid would at that time, a family getting broken up after the love and everything, the closeness and everything that was together. And then it got split up. So it affects the kids. Sometimes we as parents, we don't realize how it affects the kids, but it affects them greatly. And fast forward to I was 13 years old. My teacher said I've been nothing in life and used to put me in a corner. Yes, I had trouble with, you know, discipline and things like that. But why not say to me, Morris, what is the problem? Why are you playing up? Is there something wrong at home? This is the things that I believe now, looking back, that a teacher should be asking a kid, finding out why is he reacting that way and the other kids ain't. You know, but he used to put me in the corner. I used to feel ashamed, you know, feel down, you know what I mean? Almost like I wanted to cry, being alone in the corner for the lesson. But fast forward, I left school at 15, nearly 16 years old, excuse me. And I did try and get a job, but there seemed to be a barrier there. When I went to get a job, it was hard in the 70s, whether it's to do with color or whatever. I don't want to go into that. But I decided to sell drugs. I decided the only way out for me at that time, which now when I look back, it's the wrong way to think, because if I had continued doing and keep looking for a job, I know I would have got there from my experience in life now. But when you're growing and you don't know, you tend to do the wrong things. And I started to sell drugs, and I was selling drugs for 12 years, selling drugs, making a lot of money, buying cars, you know, going to nightclubs, you know, jewelry and everything like that. And they say money is the root of all evil, but it's not. It's the love of money is the root to all evil. And I love money so much that, you know, it became me. It became my life, you know. But there came a time in my life where a catalyst happened, where my son of 18 months old called Dwayne, he passed away. That brought me to my knees. That made me feel like I didn't want to be here in this world, because I must have only hugged him about 10 to 15 times in his life. My mind started to play tricks on me. So I needed to find a way out. You know, my mum used to say, come to church, Morris. I used to say, Mum, I ain't got enough time, you know. But here I was thinking, what shall I do? Anyway, I went to church and I started to go to church and started to see the light. And I want to say to every one of you, adversity introduces a man to himself or a woman. It introduced me to myself, to get to know myself. And I took the journey in the light, in believing in God that he would guide me through these times of troubled times with my mind, and I started to take the steps in working. And what I want to say to everyone, no matter what you're doing, don't worry about when you're going to get there. Worry about what you're doing to get there. And I took the steps in just working and just enjoying working now. Instead of being a drug dealer, I was enjoying working because my kids could look up to me and see that I could be somebody in life. And after about 8 years, I would say, 8 years, I was able to set up a chauffeur company that now drives some of the biggest pop stars in the world, like Justin Bieber, Beyonce. I've done Whitney Houston's tour in 2010. You know, this was unbelievable because I couldn't even get a job. But I'm just want to say to every one of you, hard work pays, persistent pays. Don't worry about the time to get there. Like I said earlier, you will get there. But what I'm going to say to you is life happens for you, not to you. And some things that happen in life, we might get hit on the blind side sometimes. Things happen and our mind changes. But once you set your mind set, which mine was reset by going to church and coming out of the environment of the darkness and started to walk with God, anything you can get through, so long as you think and you know how to get through it. And I believe that God had a purpose for me. And in 2007, my sister passed away. She was my best friend. I was so sad when she passed away. It affected me badly. Can you imagine that? Your best friend you grew up with as a sister passes away through an illness that we all knew about, but you never believed that time's going to come. But after that, I continued to work and continued on my journey. But in 2010, I lost my mum through cancer, and I was sad again. I was saying, at least I still got my dad. But in 2011, my dad got diagnosed with cancer. He passed away. I was like, wow, God, what's happening here? But I still believed in God and trusted in him. But then in 2015, I got knocked down again, big time, when my wife of 35 years, my common law wife, committed suicide and left a 13-year-old and a 30-year-old. I was thinking, why me, God? Why? I went through 3 months of depression, and this was the second time I felt like taking my life, going through all what we had been through and everything, because she was my soulmate, my true mate. Can you imagine that? It's a hard thing to get through. But I used to say, why me? But now I say, try me, because I came through that with the belief that that pain was my gain. And you have to go through it to grow through it. And I started to believe in myself that God had given me this adversity so that I could become the person I am today. But in 2018, I'm feeling it a bit now. I lost another son. That means I lost 2 sons. Ashley passed away, he was 34 years old. It was troubled times again, getting knocked down again. But what I want to say to every one of you is, they say ashes to ashes and dust to dust, but mine's the connector rises like a phoenix through the dust, because I've risen through the dust and I understand now. I overstand. When I look back, I believe that God was chipping away at me, because life is plastic, people. We have to go through it to grow through it. And I believe he was chipping away at me to mold me into this person I am today, speaking to every one of you and saying, listen, I go to the gym to build muscle. Life is about building muscle with your experience. The pain you go through is like building muscle at the gym. So no matter what you're going through, people, every one of you, I know you've gone through some pain. I look back and I think where I've come from, and I thank God for that. Because would I be the same person I am today if my son never passed away? Would I be able to come out the darkness and be seeing the light shining so bright now? Like Muhammad Ali said, the service we give to others is the rent we pay for being here in this world. And I connected to myself. I know the possibilities. I know what I need to do. I know how to serve. And while I was going through that depression and I came through it, one of my friends invited me to come to do a talk in the city of London. And I'm going to say to everyone in life, you have to be fearless, then your life becomes limitless. And my life became fearless because I trusted in God. So I said, yes, I'll come and speak at that event. I'd never spoken on stage before. And I went to the event. I had no notes. And all the other speakers, 5 speakers, they had notes. They were going up there with notes. I went up there and spoke my truth when my time came. I said, good evening, everyone. I've never done nothing like this before. But my teacher said, oh, nothing in life. And I told them a bit about my story. When I got off stage, they said, Maurice, that was good. That was very inspiring, your story. The next day, a teacher phoned me and said, Maurice, I want you to come to my school and tell that same story to the 15-year-olds that are going through their GCSEs. And I said, yes, sure. They said, how much do you want? I said, nothing. And I went there and spoke my truth, because I'm telling every one of you, your story is your glory. And by speaking my truth and showing them the pictures of Justin Bieber and Beyonce in my car, videos and things like that, they loved it. And I started to go to schools and get invited to schools to speak to the kids. Because I believe, like I say to them, in every follower there's a leader. Leaders are born, not made. We are all born leaders. And I started to enjoy it. And one day I was at home and the Spirit came to me and said, Maurice, this is what God gave you your pain for. To inspire people, to show people that they too can get through anything. Sometimes we're just stuck. We just need someone to talk to. We might need a coach or someone to talk to get us through that barrier of something that's holding us down. I'm now a life coach and an inspirational speaker. And I'm here and I believe that God has given me the gift to speak to every one of you and say to you, listen, the secret about getting ahead is getting started. You have to have a vision, because that's your direction. They say with no people with no vision, we perish. When you have a vision, the road gets smaller because you can now see where you're going. It gets narrower. You can see where you're going. That's your destination. That's your destiny. So I would say to every one of you, find a progressive idea. Find something you like and stick to it. You will get there. And I'm going to say to you, you're either in a storm, going through a storm, or coming through a storm, but you're here to win. You either win or you learn. I'm Maurice the Connector. I'm going to end this now. I'm connected to the source and the energy that's given to me because I sent out the right vibrations. And I'm saying to every one of you, go and get what's yours, because God has given you time, the time to change from here to get to eternity with your love that you give. It's not about me anymore. It's not about me. It's what I give to people. I get pleasure from giving my love to people and showing people that, listen, you could have anything you want so long as you believe, because not seeing is believing, it's believing is seeing. I'm Maurice the Connector. I want to thank you all for listening to me here today, and make that step to get started. We failed to plan, so we plan to fail. So let's plan something from today. Thank you for listening, everyone. Thank you
No,
very much.
I want to say a big thank you for your story, Maurice. That was absolutely fantastic, mate. And obviously, like I always say to all my people, that even if 2 people listen to this video and it helped them 2 people, it was well worth it. You know, if you can save someone's life by just someone listening to what you've got to say, and it might trigger in them and realise, actually, the man's talking sense here. We need to reevaluate what we do in life, you know. And I think it's a powerful story what you just done. And could I have a couple of questions, if that's okay?
Yeah, man, fire away, man. I'm here for you.
Yeah, yeah. Could you tell me more about the Incredible You, please? if you can.
The Incredible You is a program that makes you become incredible by knowing yourself. When I talk about connected to myself, I have a program that goes down to your core, because when we're growing, they call it your baselines are formed when things happen in your life, and it determines how you see the world from when you're a young boy growing up. And what the Incredible You does, it changes your mindset by getting down to your core values, finding out what makes you happy and not happy, and changing the habits, because change the habits will change you to become incredible within you. Because all it is about is changing the habits. Sometimes we know drinking and smoking, we can say a drug addict, we could say an alcoholic, but what about you, yourself? What habits have you got that's making you react the way you react? So we need to change the habits. In the way I changed my environment, I changed my habits little by little. I took baby steps to change. Change happens, progress doesn't. You have to make progress, and that's what the Incredible You does for people that I teach, coach, because there's a coaching program where I can teach people to be an Incredible You coach, or teach them to come out of. Some people are just stuck, and some people just need to find a way out. And that's what the Incredible You does.
No, so thank you for explaining that. So say someone wanted to come on your program, how could they come on your program?
Just connect to my website, morristheconnector.com. And there's a free present on there. There's a free discovery session on there that you could connect to, an accountability program, I would say, that you could get off of there and leave your email, and I'll be in contact with you, and we could talk through a discovery session about how we can get you unstuck and make you reach to the next level in life. Because sometimes we just need a coach or someone to speak to. Every successful businessman has a coach. Every successful athlete has a coach. There's a reason for it. And we as people don't have no one to turn to learn. It's about evolving, not conforming. So let's do it, people. Whatever you want, you can have, but you have to do the work. You have to work for it. What are you doing to become what you really want to become? That's what I'm asking you here today. Thank you, John.
No, I just started asking questions because obviously I wanted to know a bit more about it myself. So I had a look online before, and now you've answered my questions for me, which I had. Also, what made you want to go into the chauffeur business? What made you want to change and do that?
Shall I tell you what, right? As from my journey from being a drug dealer to my son passing away, and me taking the journey of going to church and seeing the light and wanting to work, I never knew I didn't plan to be an executive driver, a chauffeur driver. It was the journey of working on the way, and momentum built up. Because what happened when I changed and I started to work doing double A's and became a salesman, and then got some money together, my girlfriend got some money together, created a market stall selling women's clothes. From that, we got a shop in about 3 years, was able to afford a shop. She was looking after the shop. I went and done some couriering and executive driving. And then when I was doing the executive driving, if you understand, a momentum built up from there to the executive driving. Then I met a man called Steve, and he took a liking to me as a person. He once said to me, "You're more than a driver, Morris," because he liked my character. He liked my energy. And I started to work for him. And I left the executive car company, started to work for him. And he was working for a hedge fund, like a £6 billion hedge fund in London, in the city. And one day he said he was going to set up his own hedge fund. And I said to him, I can set up a car company, a little car company to cater for your staff, Steve. And that's how my chauffeur company became. Because then I set up a car company and started to own a chauffeur company that now drives Justin Bieber, Beyonce, and everyone now, pop stars and VIP guests and all sorts of people now. So I didn't plan to be a chauffeur. Do you understand? Life happens for you. It's about you enjoying what you're doing. And every step of the way, I stayed committed and disciplined when I left the streets. I never turned my back and went back on the street. It's been 35 years now. I haven't drank alcohol or smoked marijuana. These are the changes that I'm talking about. With the incredible you, this is what it does for you. It puts all your cards on the table and makes you see what you really are doing wrong in your life by giving you assignments, questions to answer, opening up your mind, letting you see there's things that we need to change. There's an outcome for everything. You are what you think you are. So therefore, if we change our mindset by changing our habits, will determine the outcome of what we need to do in our life for the better. That's what I would say. That's what happened to me. So I did not plan to be a chauffeur. But like I said, I didn't plan to be a motivational speaker. I didn't plan to be a life coach. I didn't plan to be hosting in 2 months a show with Gloria Walton live on Apple TV. All these I didn't plan. Life happens for you. It's what you're doing with your life. John.
No, I think I agree with that as well. Like sometimes, see, I always go by the philosophy that I'm put in a place for a reason. I didn't plan; it just happens. Same as you. You didn't plan to be a chauffeur. You didn't plan to be on TV, but you are. And also, you're an author as well.
Yeah, I'm an author. I've written my book, my memoirs, and it's getting ghostwritten as we speak. You know, I also have a charity for the kids. I want to share with you this. I have a
Yeah.
charity that I set up for a school in Ethiopia and a school in London that I'm going to open to teach kids empowerment and life skills, what I never got at school. The system failed me and it failed many of us. I want to make a change with a school of alternative learning. Yes, maths and English we need, but what about teaching the kids what they love? Asking the kids, what do you want to be? Because I believe whatever you say you want to be and you love doing it, that becomes your gift. That's what you could serve within the marketplace and enjoy it at the same time. So yeah, I've also got that going on, and a number of things like a documentary about my life that I'm making as well. You know, there's amazing things that's happening in my life right now, and I have to thank God every step of the way. Even getting knocked down with COVID 2 weeks ago, maybe I wasn't going to be here, but I trusted in God. I lost breath. I lost my breath. I lost oxygen I was losing. I thought I wasn't going to be here with the COVID. God's got a plan for all of us, and I'm working with God's plan. Thank you for listening, everyone.
Now I want to thank obviously God as well for you being still here. You know what I mean? Because obviously having COVID, a lot of people lost their lives with this, and for you to pull through after that, that's a blessing in itself. You know, that just proves what a true fighter you really are on that respect.
Yeah, it struck me down bad. Some everybody,
For a person, you're here for a purpose.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Some people get it bad, John. Right? I got it really bad, where couldn't eat for 9 days. I couldn't even wash myself. Do you understand? I could give you a joke. I went in the shower one day and I thought, so I soaked up myself in the shower, but I've got an ensuite in my bedroom. So I thought, let me wash myself. I nearly fainted, man. I had to jump in my bed with the soap and everything on me and just go to sleep. That's how bad COVID had me. It made me weak. It took away certain parts of my system. I've never had an illness like that in all my life. So I'm telling you, people, be careful. There's something out there, right? Do what's necessary to protect yourself with this COVID.
No, I want to thank you though, Morris, for sharing your wonderful story today, and also for coming on as well. Um, and obviously, I'm going to be playing a video at the end of the podcast as well, so people can see a bit more about what you do as well. And please keep us updated with what you're doing so we can follow your progress as well, and update people and stuff. Have you got anything else you want to add, Morris? Or
No, I don't want to add anything else. All I want to say to people is that you are the difference. Go out there and make a difference. You are the light. It's shining bright. It's what you determine it to be, it will be. So go out there and let me tell every one of you, there's something in this world that you can offer somebody in this world with your love. Thank you, everybody.
no, I want to say a big thank you, Morris, for coming on again. And obviously, I've been on a one day to meet you, Morris, one day. You know, have a
Definitely.
coffee on the chat because I'm interested actually in your. Because what I sometimes do as well is every year I raise money for a local charity in the UK. So then that funding then goes towards the projects they want to do. So I want to talk to you about the project that you want to do for the kids because I'm really interested in that. Obviously, I'll talk about it to you later on about that. If you're okay with that.
I'm okay with anything, man. I'm here, man. My love, my cup's full, so I can give. And I'm telling every one of you, if your cup's not full, get it full by knowing yourself, getting connected with yourself, and getting to love yourself. Love yourself. I have all the ingredients now. If I was a cake, I'd eat myself. Belief, confidence, knowing my why, what I need to do in this world and my must. That's important. So every one of you, go out there, and I know you can do it. So just do it, do it, do it. I'm here for you, John. Anytime, contact me, and we could do anything you want to do.
Yeah, man. Well, I want to say a big thank you, Morris, for coming on, sir. God bless you for coming on, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week, which is left. And we'll be in touch with you. But for now, I want to say a big thank you to Morris, the Connector, for coming on. You can reach him at www.morristheconnector.com. He's on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Make sure you give him a subscribe and a like, guys. Fantastic journey. Thank you, Morris. God bless you.
Stay blessed, everyone.
Yeah, I say a big, big thank you to Morris the Connector for coming on today on my show. Go to www.morristheconnector.com. But for now, I'm going to leave you with this.
Hello everyone, my name's Morris the Connector. The reason for my name is I'm now connected to my inner self. So anything is possible now because I believe in myself. They say seeing is believing, but it's believing is seeing. Now I can see everything clearly now. I want to show you how I navigated myself to become Morris the Connector. I grew up with my mum and 5 siblings. This picture here is me at 18 years old, not knowing what I wanted to do. I drifted in and out of prisons selling drugs. I never knew that I could be the incredible person I am. I've navigated myself to become a successful business owner. Elite Executive Services chauffeur company drives some of the biggest pop stars in the world. Justin Bieber, Beyonce, Whitney Houston's tour of London, Floyd Mayweather also. I'm now wearing my crown. If you want to know how I became this person, you can sign up to a free discovery session of a coaching program called The Incredible You, and I can show you how you too can become incredible. Life happens for you, not to you. It's about what you're doing to make it happen. Change the habits, it will change you. So sign up to my Incredible You discovery session and let us connect. Thank you very much.